Hello, my name is Mariana Rutledge from York, West Virginia, and I'm doing my presentation on engaging students in science instruction. With engaging students in science instruction, my first topic of the matter would be strategies to engage students through active inquiry within science instruction. Within the strategies that I pinpointed out, that I have looked up, helps definitely to engage throughout science instruction for the kids. Number one, in my opinion, for any teacher whatsoever, be positive role model to all the kids within the classroom. Not only be the positive role model, use uplifting, encouraging advice to the students. Not only just to build up their self-esteem, but within building up their self-esteem helps them build up their knowledge within the learning process of what you are going over. You have to be a positive role model. Big thing in my opinion. Next, make them feel like a scientist. Use experiments within the science classroom. You know, if you're not incorporating experience, how in the world is a child supposed to know what you are teaching? You have to incorporate experiments and make them experience what they are learning using hands-on experiments. Bring science to life. When you incorporate an experiment, bring it to life. Make it be a wow factor. Make it a wow factor where a child will be like, oh, that is so awesome. Not like, oh, that's just lame. I can do that at home. You have to incorporate a wow factor. Make it come to life. That is the number one way to help a child increase their learning perspective within the science lesson you are teaching. Connect science to the student's everyday life. You know, this is a big, because the students in the classroom is always thinking, well, how does that even affect my everyday lifestyle? How am I ever going to use this? You know, that is where the teacher has to incorporate it to the everyday lifestyle of the student. That helps them be engaged and focused within the lesson and the experiments that you are providing. It only helps them build within their knowledge. And then they can go out in their everyday lifestyle and say, oh, I learned this in science class. It's pretty cool and it's awesome. And that is how you're going to keep a student's engagement process focused. That's how you're going to be motivated within your lesson and encouraging students to use their everyday lifestyle within their science experiments and to use science in their everyday life. Expose new opportunities for the students. We have to expose new opportunities to students. They don't have opportunity. They don't have a creative learning technique. They don't have what they don't understand, what they're learning. You have to give them opportunities. You have to give them an option in creating an awesome science lesson. You know, give them the choice to provide an awesome science lesson. Let them feel like they are part of your lesson. They are part of something you are creating for them to understand and learn within the fundamentals of the standards you are using for a science instruction lesson. That's what you need to do. And giving them the opportunities will be an outstanding process because that keeps the students engaged and excited because they are being a part of it. And not only exposing students for new opportunities, but it will follow their growth within their education for next year. Because you might throw in a fact, or you might go further within the lesson that is provided, and next year, whatever the teacher is providing is the same lesson, they already know because you help them grow within their learning. Because you expose new opportunities for them. Incorporate technology. We always have to incorporate technology. That helps build a student up. That gives them visual aid learning, and that only puts hands-on learning to them by connecting technology within their lesson plan, within their lesson they are learning. It helps them provide the real data within using a computer. Provide the computer for the kids, let the kids do it, and they will be engaged to read the data and analyze data and learn about it. And lastly, create opportunities for interactive feedback. Interactive feedback is a big one. I think it helps kids learn from others and learn from teachers. Everything that they are focusing on within the lesson. And kids are going to have questions. People are going to answer them and also have questions. That's how you learn. You learn because you have questions. And you get the answers to the questions. And then you will learn. It is a great, great way of using feedback and interactive feedback with others. It only builds up a student's learning process. It has to be incorporated because that will only engage the students because they are like asking these questions because they don't understand. And not only that, a teacher will know if they understand the lesson or not by using interactive feedback. A teacher would know what they are learning and what they are struggling with, and then the teacher can incorporate better materials for them to learn what they do not understand. It only builds a student up and grows within their learning development. My next slide and my next concept will be explanation of engagement strategies to support collaboration and interaction. I have used 4 from the strategies of engagement from my last slide that I thought would be a very great way to support collaboration and interaction. One is incorporating technology. Incorporating technology is a big collaboration and engagement and interaction with other students within the classroom, and not only the students but within the teacher. It only helps build their knowledge by using games through technology, by using hands-on experiments by technology. It depends on what kind of technology you are providing within the lesson. And it is only helping them learn not just the lesson, but learn the technology at the same time, which is a great factor because that is what they're going to have for the future within the classrooms they are going to go to in the near future. And having that is just great because technology is a big resource nowadays. That's all there is now is technology. And if a teacher incorporates technology within the lesson, the student is not only getting the lesson provided in a technology way, in a visual way, and also a hands-on way, but is learning the technology. And that is what they have to have. Nowadays, that's what they are required to have. Because I'm sure from 20 years from now, technology is going to be even greater of a tool. I mean, it's just going to go farther than what it is right now. And not mentioning games, from like just Jeopardy, and then you can provide Jeopardy through your smartboard, and that is how you incorporate technology. And not only Jeopardy, but you can use memory game for the dates and the data and the facts of what the science lesson is about. There are so many different ways to incorporate technology within your lesson, and also within a fun way as well, as using teams, dividing the class, just having a great fun time within learning the science lesson at hand. My next one is creating opportunities for interactive feedback. Creating opportunities for interaction and feedback is a great way to collaborate and interact with others. Because what I said earlier, having that feedback helps only build a student up. That's how we learn as adults, is having questions presented by you, the professor or the teacher. And then we have to collaborate and understand what you want from us. And we put it out there. And if it's not right, you give us feedback. You give us feedback and we learn from it. It is a learning tool, and it is a really great learning strategy, and I would recommend it to any teachers to provide it in their classroom, because interactive feedback is all about collaboration, interactive, and engaging with other students and teachers within the lesson. It's only what you will end up going to learn from others. We learn from everything and everyone out in the whole entire universe, and that's what we learn. We learn something different every day. We don't just learn it. We don't learn something different once in a year. We learn it every day. We learn something new every day. You have to provide that. We have to get to understand the data within a child's knowledge and see what we can do to help them reach that goal within their knowledge development to grow within the subject at hand. And a great way to use feedback is the use of think, pair, and share. The think, pair, and share strategy is amazing. You think about it, you share it with your partner, and you share it to the classroom. It is a great concept in providing interactive feedback. It helps teachers to know what they are talking about, what they are learning from each other, and what they are ending up with the answer with. It really helps. It builds up to the answer. And not only builds up to the answer, it helps them think and use critical thinking skills to build up to the answer. It's using different ways for a child to provide their brain in a learning environment. And lastly, and next, I believe, is connecting science to students' lives. And connecting the science to students' lives is great, because it helps the students build interaction with each other. Because if a student has a question about the subject within the matter of their everyday life, they might not know, but another student might. Another student might have the answer. Another student might have the answer because they've already experimented with this subject at hand. They might already learned it. They might already interact with it in their everyday lifestyle. That is interacting, and that is collaborating within the students of the classroom. You are learning from other students, is what I once said. You learn from people, and you learn and you grow within that knowledge. We only want to grow even further within our knowledge. And another way to do that is using experiments. Using experiments is a great resource for a child's life. To interact in the student's life out of the classroom, experiments to provide the useful way of thinking and social skills within each other to provide the right answer. And lastly, the students feel like scientists. Like I said, using experiments. We have to provide experiments, not only because it is a great way to learn the science lesson, but it is a great way to interact with each other, to build up social skills, and to build up listening skills and organization skills and leadership skills. We learn and we want to grow within that learning, and we want to know how to be a better learner within any experiments. And now next year when we do an experiment, they know what to do. They know how to do this, and they will build from other people within their old experiments to know what to do, and to know what to say, and to know what to provide, and because they learned it from the last year of classroom. And lastly, the next slide will be slide 3, which is methods to capture and hold the interest of the students. There are a bunch of methods that you can capture and hold the interest of the student. And here are a few that I have found. Motivation. Motivation is number 1. Capturing the subject within real life scenarios, and not only the real life scenarios, but within the students' lives. We have to provide that motivation for the students by using their everyday lifestyle and their everyday lives and how it incorporates it. That will only build them and motivate them to be a better learner and be engaged within what they are learning. It won't take away their interest. They will be more interested within it. Engaging the senses and making concrete and relevant ideas. Engaging the senses is great within any science lesson. Within any science lesson, we want to do what? The sensory perception, which is you think, you hear, you smell, you see, you touch, you learn about it by just feeling it, touching it, seeing it, smelling it. You learn about the science within hands. What does this thing do? What does it not do? How does it feel? How does it act? How does it, does it have feelings? Does it have emotions? We get to know more about it by just analyzing the sensory perspective of it. And that makes them want to be questioning about it and keep them more engaged and tuned within the lesson being taught. And having concrete and relevant ideas is awesome because concrete is the background knowledge of the students and how it can be relevant to the lesson provided now. And that will keep them more engaged by using their background knowledge. Incorporating regular free play. I've learned in a lot of science classes how to incorporate regular free play, and students need this. They need a 5-minute break just to air out their emotions, because we get tired. We get tired if we sit in a classroom all day. I've taken a 5-hour test before in a day in one classroom, and you get tired. You really, really do. And you just need that 5-minute break just to re-amp yourself, just re-amp yourself. Get the jitters out, get the nerves out, get the exciting out. Just get back and focus within the lesson. We have to have that 5-minute break. Some 5-minute breaks within the first grade is Go Noodle. The Go Noodle dance is awesome. I have seen it. A lot of teachers uses it. I have seen it being used, and it is awesome. It just gets that excitement out of the kid and back focusing on the subject at hand. Involving students in the lesson plan. This is a big. You have to involve students in the lesson plan. If you don't involve students in the lesson plan, you don't even have a lesson. Because the students isn't engaged and they don't feel like they're a part of anything. Students has to feel something. They have feelings too. They want to be a part of something. Every person in elementary school, middle school, and high school wants to be a part of something. So provide it. Make them feel like they are wanted, and make them feel like they are encouraged to be a part of something. You have to give them. You have to provide them within the lesson. By just using experiments helps them provide them in the lesson. Reading out loud helps them be provided within the lesson. You have to provide the right tools and strategies that is incorporated within any lesson and just let them provide it. You don't always have to provide the lesson, but helping them read aloud helps them just build motor skills up and help them build reading skills up and vocabulary skills up. Just helping them be a part of something helps a child's mindset grow even better because they feel appreciated, accepted, and supported of their teacher. And that teacher is being a positive role model, like I said before, within the classroom, which will only help the student grow within their success for the future. Teachers has to be like that. They have to be encouraging, uplifting, and inspirational to the students. And you have to let them be part of your lesson plan. You have to, so they can feel that. Some students don't get that at home. Students don't get that at home, and the only place they do get that at is within their teacher. You gotta remember, where do these students come from? Maybe this is the only positive environment they get, and the only time they feel accepted. You have to provide that within your lesson plan, and that will keep them engaged. Make students laugh. Like I said, you have to have a fun strategy in providing any lesson, not just a science lesson, but with any lesson. You have to make them laugh. Laughter is a key to happiness, and a key to excitement, and a key to not worry and not analyze, not overthinking. It is laughing, and it is getting along and understanding what they are learning. And laughter is the icebreakers within any lecture, within any lesson. It's the icebreakers that the kids just needs to laugh and just carry on and learn about the lesson all at once. We can't just sit in the classroom as robots and not want to do anything and just look at the teacher and just learn and that's it and take a test. It has to be more than that. It has to be visual learning. It has to be laughter within the visual learning. It has to be where the kid can remember the facts because you made it fun and exciting and you made it even funny. You know, it can be a teacher and make it fun and exciting and even funny at the same time. You know, having structure is the key to a great successful rate within the test and the standards, but also having them happy. Having the kids happy within the lesson they are learning is the number one key. You have to have a happy classroom environment. You have to. And having laughter within that key is a great way to provide an awesome lesson. And it will build within the student's brain because they had fun with it. Incorporating the unexpected. You know, it's kind of like laughter. The unexpected is like a picture or jokes. You know, or changing the whole lesson into a different perspective way of learning it. You have to incorporate different ways, even a video. I mean, just different unexpected ways that this kid would think they are learning this lesson, but you are incorporating in a different way. But they're like, oh, that's a different way. But it's pretty cool, you know. Another one, a great example for me to use within this video is by, you know, the unexpected learning technique. When I was like in 1st or 2nd grade, we had to learn the easiest thing: north, south, east, and west, right? But my teacher always said, never eat slimy worms. That's how you remember it. I still remember it to this very day. And because I remember it to this very day is because it was an unexpected learning strategy. Having those unexpected learning strategies, I am 28 years old and I still remember that because it was unexpected, and that really sinks into your brain because it was just unexpected, out of the blue, totally different than anything I would probably ever learn, because those are the key points that makes you remember those little tiny details. My last slide is my last examples of within the last part of this presentation is 2 examples of how to incorporate technology. The 2 examples that I thought were very, very beneficial for me and for anybody as an educator or as a teacher are computers and smartboards. I'm telling you, computers is going to just rule society in the end. I mean, it's just the number one tool for a teacher and a number one tool for a student. It is what we learned today. You know, I didn't have this back in the day. You know, when I was in 1st grade, I had blackboards. I had paper and pencil. That's all we had. We barely even had projectors. The only projectors we had was like in math class and algebra class when I was in middle school. And when you had to write on a thing, you had to put it on the projector and it projects through the wall. It was old-fashioned. But now it has went beyond that. You know, it has now where the classroom has a computer everywhere they go, an Elmo, a smartboard, just because that's how you teach. That's what we do now, is we use technology. We use the internet. We use the internet for just lesson plans in alone. You can provide lesson plans online. It's all the resources you need is just in a computer because it is the internet. You know, and having that internet provides help the students. You can let students provide access to what they are learning within those science experiments and within those science lessons due to them using a computer, learning about the computer by just going through to Google or YouTube, by learning the information that needs to be learned within the science lesson you are teaching. They can do it because it's hands-on. And I don't know any kid by the age of 5 that doesn't know how to even work a computer. Usually they already know how to get to YouTube, and they already know how to get to Google, because it is already hands-on now. That's what hands-on is at the age of 4. You know, it is so extreme now, and it's mind-blowing. It's just crazy how far technology has really come, and how computers is like the #1 tool for a classroom and for a lesson. Just that is all you need to teach a classroom and to teach a lesson. You know, yeah, you have to have yourself, but there's a lot on the internet that helps the student learn by incorporating photos, videos, games. Just so much stuff is on the internet that helps a kid visually learn and be hands-on with it. They just don't learn the lesson, but they learn the technology that will only help them grow and achieve within time. And last one is smartboard. Smartboards are great because smartboards are interactive anyway. They come with a pen. They are already interactive, where a person can just go up and touch the smartboard and that's it. A student can do that. And having smartboards within the classroom, a teacher can provide something on the smartboard from the internet onto the smartboard, where the student can do a graphic organizer with the help of the other students, or go up there and play a game with the help of the students. You know, it is a big tool for incorporating technology. It really is, and those are about the 2 biggest things, in my opinion, that incorporates within science, with any subject, even within classrooms. Those 2 are the big ordeal factors within any part within teaching. But it builds up the students' learning and engagement due to it being a visual learning and being an awesome tool, because it is awesome. It is technology. Every kid likes technology, so it keeps them engaged. They want to go up there and do it. They want to be like Albert Einstein, do it, like just go up there and play with it. You know, that is an interactive tool. Both of them are, and it only builds up their knowledge for successful rates in the future, because technology from now to 20 years is only going to build. It's not going to be like what it is today. Like when I was in 1st grade and today, totally different. Even the classrooms are different. It's totally different than what you could ever imagine, how everything changes. I mean, everything changes in life. I mean, maybe not in a day, but it changes in a generation. Every generation is different. But what I've learned within this presentation has been great, an amazing experience for me. I'm going to try to take what I've learned to be a better teacher and to provide it within my classroom. I want my kids to have fun. You know, I want them to feel excited within their learning, you know, and within their knowledge. I want them to feel like they are somebody and they want to be somebody in the future. You know, I was right. I know I'm right about where kids come from. I mean, I come from a bad past too, but what I'm saying is that kids come from nothing, and helping them just reach that goal, and if it's only through their education, that's a great goal to achieve, because nobody can take away your education in life. You can always learn more and more each day, and just having that positive role model behind that student will help them achieve. Because I did when I was younger. I had awesome teachers when I was younger, and I still look at them to this very day, and I even thank them, because what they taught me is what I needed in college. What they taught me is what I needed in a master's field. I mean, I had to have it, you know, and we might thought that was hard teachers, but they only pushed you to your limit. Well, you have to have, when you don't think you need to know this, you have to know this. You know, and it only helps your life a lot easier down the road. And having these strategies and techniques by providing us awesome science lesson will only help the child down the road help provide, maybe they might be a scientist one day because of how you presented yourself within the lesson and how you made it fun. They will always remember the fun teacher and how exciting your classroom was. Well, this is my presentation. Thank you.